Hey guys, this is your daily dose of movies. Today I'm talking about sci-fi movie Interstellar with a budget of $165 million and rating of 8.6 by IMDb. A farmer, Joseph Cooper, happens to be a trained NASA pilot with an engineering background. His 10-year-old daughter Murph is obsessed with science and believes a ghost in her room, who is trying to communicate with her in Morse by pushing books off a bookshelf. But his 15-year-old son Tom wants to be a farmer like his father. They're living with Donald, Joseph's father-in-law, Murph's and Tom's grandfather. The movie starts with Joseph's dream about his crush, and Murph woken up because she thought it was a ghost. At the parent-teacher conference, school's principal tells Joseph that Tom will not be able to go to college, but will make a good farmer, because why the world needs engineers?
We don't need more engineers.
But Murph got suspended because of the old books she took to school about Apollo missions that were faked, so she got into a fistfight with other students. Now, why not to go to a baseball game to see the dust storm begin? When they come home, Murph realizes she left her window open. Because of it, they find out a strange sand pattern on the floor of her bedroom. Murph thinks that's her ghost, but Joseph realizes it's gravity. The pattern is binary, showing coordinates. Joseph leaves to find the place, but Murph hides in the car because she wants to go with him. Those kids. When they find the place, it's a restricted area. Joseph tries to break in when someone grabs him and Murph and takes them in. They meet Professor Brand, who is a brilliant NASA physicist trying to solve the gravity problem. He secretly works on a plan to save mankind. By Plan A, transporting Earth's population to a new planet through a wormhole, or Plan B, setting up a camp on one of the promising planets from the previous mission. But first, Professor Brand must send former NASA pilot Cooper and a team of researchers on a mission Endurance through the wormhole across the galaxy to find out which of three promising planets could be mankind's new home. Cooper decides to go on a mission Endurance. Murph gets mad and tells Joseph that the message from the ghost says stay, so he needs to stay. He gives her a watch and explains. Time will run differently for them, so they can compare it when he gets back. Also, he says that by the time he will be back, they may be the same age. I guess it didn't calm her. So she throws the watch and continues to be mad. Joseph promises to come back and leaves after saying goodbye to Tom and Donald. Now, Mission Endurance, Commander Joseph Cooper together with Mission Specialist Amelia Brand, Science Specialist Doyle, Science Specialist Romilly, and Shape-Shifting ATMs, TARS, you know the one with the humor, and Case, the silent one, goes on an adventure. While entering the wormhole, Amelia sees them, as she thinks, the ones who made the wormhole, and makes her first handshake. Shortly after getting through the wormhole, they decide to go to Miller's planet, because it's closer than others, but extremely close to a black hole, called Gargantua. 1 hour there is 7 years on Earth, so they need to be as fast as possible. Hop on and hop off. After landing on a puddle called Miller's planet, they find out all around is only water, and no sight of Miller. Just wreckage. While Doyle, Case and Amelia looks for some data, ignoring Cooper's request to get back, if I was them, I wouldn't go out there at all. So they see a huge wave, but Amelia is like,
"We're not leaving without her data!"
Like the huge wave touching the clouds wasn't enough data for her that this planet is not the one. But it's too late. Case goes after her, picks her up and moves back to a ranger, together with Doyle. But Doyle doesn't make it back and joins Miller's race. Well, that's too bad. After surfing the wave, all the engines were flooded, and they couldn't take off. At the same time, Amelia realizes that Miller has landed on the planet just moments ago. When they got back to Endurance, after 23 years, 4 months, and 8 days long fight with the waves on Earth time, they met a bit aged Romilly and got to hear all the messages. For Cooper there was many from Tom, the last one from Murph. It was her birthday, the same age as Cooper, when he left. Now Murph's inherited her father's drive to explore the unknown. Back in a galaxy, Endurance decides to go to a Mann's planet because of recent data. After landing, they find Mann, wake him up from hypersleep and start questioning. As in every movie, there must be a bad guy. This is him. He lies about the surface where you can live and breathe like a normal person, so people come and rescue him from the icy fields. Suddenly, they get a message from Murph. She says that Professor Brand is dead, but on his deathbed revealed his gravity equation had been solved for years, and the whole Plan A is a sham, and the Endurance mission was never meant to come back to Earth or save Earth's population. After the message, Mann tells that Professor Brand knew humans wouldn't come together to save the world. He knew about it all along and explained the equation could only be solved with data from the black hole, where no one can get, but well, why not send a robot there to collect data that can be transmitted to Earth and save humans? It's enough for Cooper, so he decides to go home, but there is work left to do on Mann's planet, to find this promising surface. Cooper, led by Mann, goes to find a surface, but Mann becomes suspicious and attempts to kill Cooper, and cracks his visor. At the same time, on Earth, Murph was still driven to save humanity. She felt the solution lays in her old bedroom, and goes back to find it. Upon arrival at her old home, she was unable to convince Tom to leave, as the dust was causing respiratory issues with his family. She later drives on an open field and burns crops to distract Tom, while she is rescuing her sister-in-law and nephew. While Romilly stays with Tars in Mann's station to supervise him, Amelia goes to save Cooper. The station with Romilly and Tars blows up. Tars manages to escape. Mann realizes he lost his station and tries to dock on an Endurance, in the name of saving humanity, but makes an explosion and dies. Cooper struggles with docking on a rotating Endurance, but manages. As there are not enough resources for Amelia and Cooper both, he decides to slingshot around Gargantua in an effort for Amelia to carry out Plan B, and detach together with Tars from Endurance, falling into the black hole that transports them in a tesseract termed by Tars, or the other side of Murph's bookshelf. Wait, what is he doing in a space bookshelf? He's the ghost! Who tries to stop himself from leaving on a mission Endurance. While inside the maze, Cooper sees Murph at various points in time, makes a stay message for Murph, and with the help of Tars, succeeds in manipulating certain strings of time, allowing Murph to reconcile gravity and quantum mechanics. Murph, while in her old room, realizes that the ghost was her father and discovers the watch given by Cooper was twitching with the Morse code, which read quantum data recovered by Tars inside the black hole, which helps her to discover a final solution to gravity and save the world! Immediately afterward, Tesseract closes, and Cooper is transported to the wormhole, revealing that he was the one who shook hands with Amelia, not them, as she thought. Many decades later, when Cooper was found by two Ranger Scouts, Murph was placed in hypersleep on her way to Cooper's station, to be reunited with her family and long-lost father as she became close to death. Cooper's station is a giant tube, flying in a galaxy near Saturn, that Murph got off Earth with her equation. When Cooper is finally reunited with her, she encourages to seek out Amelia, instead of staying, stating that no parent should watch their children die. Cooper steals a next-generation Ranger and sets out for the wormhole to search Amelia, who is already setting up camp on Edmund's planet.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Hope you enjoyed this dose of movies. Have a nice day! Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!